Hello everyone. It's a very blustery, chilly but sunny day here, and I have lots of seeds germinating and coming up here in the greenhouse. It's one of those lovely spring days when lots of little jobs can be done. So today I'm going to be planting out, and I just want to show you some of the things that we've been doing in the garden. So in here I have some tomatoes that are ready to be potted on. I've got peas ready to go out to be hardened off, and coriander and a few other things. I've already planted out some beans, and I have more peas and bits and pieces outside, some lettuces to be planted outside. So I'll show you those. It's just wonderful to see all these things coming up. I know that we're going to have lots of beans and peas and beetroots, and we've got lettuce down there as well in a little hot box thing. And it's very inspiring to keep going and to plant more things, because it's vital that we start growing our own food. If you haven't started already, start as soon as possible, even if it's just a window box or a plant pot, even if it's just a bit of lettuce. The taste is worth it alone. Thank you for all the really lovely St. Patrick's Day greetings. It was so kind of everybody to send blessings and greetings. And I had said last week that I was going to take a little short of the parade we were going to, but somehow it just got lost in the ether. I don't know what happened to it. But fortunately, Lol did take a little bit of film, so I'll just let you have a look at it here. It's a little local parade that all the primary schools and local groups get involved in.
We're getting a blessing there. We're getting a blessing. Oh, wait. I see these for you. Oh my God. Oh my God. I'll do it again. All the pirates. All the pirates.
So it's traditional to get your potatoes in just before Paddy's Day, and we actually put the last few potatoes into the ground just that same morning that we went to the parade, which was St. Patrick's Day. And this land has never been used for crops before, so we had to spend a bit of time opening it up. A lot of long grass to cut and remove, and then we put down the seaweed. We've made these lazy beds in a very traditional way, so we put down seaweed, which will fertilise the soil and help the potatoes to grow. And then you cut the scraw on the side and turn it over. So you're creating high sides. And when that's done, you go along the trench at the side of the bed to dig out the soil for the middle. And that's what gives you the raised bed effect, but these are actually called lazy beds. Very traditional way of sowing potatoes in Ireland. And then we've been chitting the potatoes for the last few weeks, so they were all ready to go in. You can see there the little sprouts on them, and they just go in 2 to 3 inches deep, and then they get covered with soil from the trench on each side of the lazy bed. And it's that simple. So we've put in quite a lot of extra spuds this year, and we've just put them into raised beds, but this year we've made lazy beds the traditional way. So I'm hoping and keeping fingers crossed that we'll have a really good crop of earlies and main crop potatoes. So here's my box with my peas and lettuce and some courgettes that I'm going to take down into the garden to plant out, because they've been hardening off here for a few days. And I just want to show you this. At the beginning of the year, I took some elder cuttings. Altogether, I took 8 cuttings, and 5 of them have put out some leaves. So those elder cuttings have rooted and they're ready to transplant. So I'll be putting those out later on in another week or 2. I've also got a little birch, and I've got 2 little hollies, and I've got this little spruce tree. So it's great to think that these little rescued hollies, they're in the pots at the moment until they mature enough so that they won't be trampled on and lost amidst the woodland. They'll be ready to go out later on as well. But for today now, I'm just going to put these down into the bed that's already prepared for them. Okay, this is an ornamental New Zealand flax, and unfortunately, it's brilliant that it's become so large, but I think I'm going to have to dig it out, break it up and transplant it somewhere else as a windbreak, because it's not really serving any purpose here and it's actually overshadowing this bed. Elsewhere, onions, garlic, beans are all showing their lovely green faces, and in this bed it's all carrots, but no sign of them as yet. So I'm going to put my peas in here next to those, and I'm going to put the courgettes in here, because then they've got a very deep bed to ramble around in without really impacting on any other plants that might be growing nearby. And I'll put the lettuce in there as well, because that's going to be coming out, you know, on a regular basis. So I was saying how important I think it is to grow your own food, and I understand not everybody can because of where they're living, which is why even over the summer something like lettuce is so simple, and you don't have to... Oh, it's raining. You don't have to do anything special with it because it likes cool conditions. So you don't need a greenhouse, you don't need anything. You just put your seeds in and up they come. So we had a big heavy rain shower there, so we nipped back into the house for a cup of tea, and I'm out again because it's so changeable, but I'm back out again putting in the rest of my lettuce. So I was just saying that I think it's very important to grow some of your own food. It really is an act of rebellion, and it's surprising how many people think food just magically turns up in the supermarket without thinking about where it comes from, what the provenance of it is before then. And all over Europe, farmers are kind of rebelling, and they're going on strike because they want people to understand how important their job is. You know, no farmers, no food. So I've got my courgettes here. I'm going to put one and two, well, I'll just drop them in where I can. There you go. So tucking them in, and this will be coming out in the next couple of days. So many people have said it. Growing your own food is an act of rebellion. And it gets back to that whole argument about what are they teaching kids in schools. You know, practical life skills are not taught anymore. And here in Ireland, if you're doing your leaving exam in domestic science, which used to be cookery, you don't do any practical exam anymore. So people are not learning how to cook their own food, never mind growing it. And I think it's really important to give our young people practical skills, life skills, and this is a great start. Get your kids in the garden. So there we are, put them nice and deep. Hey, so let me know what you think about this. Do you think it's important, or do you think we should just be reliant on, you know, the state or other people to provide everything for us? Apart from it being very practical, it's so much fun growing your own food. The thrill of seeing things coming up, all those little germinated seeds in the greenhouse, is just so thrilling to see. Every day I go in and there's something else has emerged from the pot. Okay, so I'll stop ranting. I'll get on with this, and I wish you all a very happy week, and see you next Sunday. See you, bye. I hope you enjoyed today's film. If you did, subscribe and hit the bell for notifications. And have a look at the website danusirishherbgarden.com for more information about us and about the herbal medicine courses I offer and the Wise Woman Way training. And if you go to the shop, you can find the books, the weed handbooks and other herbal goodies. And remember, we put a new film out every Sunday. So looking forward to seeing you next week.